I posed the question: would Ty and Domas work together in Sacramento if the trade had been for De'Aaron? Some people think so, some people don't, and that's what if scenarios. I think the part that stings the most, if the Kings had gone to the first round of the playoffs again, say they lose in the play-in last year, but they go to the first round this year and lose, I don't know that anyone feels a certain way because it feels like, you just a couple of things here. Wow, we'll be okay. People don't feel like that. I don't believe people feel like that right now. This goes back to the big conversation we had with Matt George last week. Matt George's birthday tomorrow, by the way. He'll be with us coming up in the 3:00 hour. Like people are the negativity, that 2 hour conversation we had out of the blue, that 2.5 hour conversation we had about the negativity that surrounds covering the Kings, being a Kings fan, being a Kings supporter, all of that stuff, because it just feels like there's nothing positive in sight. And maybe you like Zach LaVine, maybe you like DeMar DeRozan, maybe you hate both of them. De'Aaron's gone, Mike's gone, Monty's gone. Maybe you believe in Scott Perry, maybe you don't. Maybe you believe in Doug Christie, maybe you don't. There's like so much unknown, so much question, so much uncertainty that it's left people with like, God, Tyrese is 3 games away from the finals. Because you don't have anything with your own team to celebrate. You lose in the first round of the playoffs. Man, God, if we could just do this, be all right. You don't have that. The Pacers had their centerpiece to build around. The Kings, we thought they did. Like if it was Hallie and Siakam, we thought we had De'Aaron and Domas. But the Pacers kept working to get the right guys around them. We didn't. The Kings didn't. And then you had infighting. And I don't know that it was dramatic as Michael Malone and Calvin Booth, but there was clearly a disconnect between Mike Brown and Monty McNair. And it cost both of them their jobs. And then I think Monty was doing stuff at the end of his tenure. Monty was just trying, my opinion, Monty was just trying to get through this season. You're going to fire me. I know that. I recognize that. You want Zach LaVine, bro? Fine. I'll go get Zach LaVine. And I had the thing like, do your bidding for you. I'll just quit. Then I realized he quit. He gets nothing. It's a much better event. You want Zach LaVine? Cool. You can have him because your organization is going to go back to a joke. You're going to have to pay me for the next couple of years, and I'll just go back to Houston. I'm going to be fine. And no one's working together anymore. And it felt like what was it? All in? What? That was one and done. That might as well have been the contract they signed. Instead of all in, one and done. And that's what it was. Everybody was kind of done after that.
And that's where you need talent for sure. But I think one thing that people are overlooking for next season, this upcoming season, is I think, and maybe it's just some people will label it as vibes, but I think there is something to being all in or everybody, going in the same direction that can just change a locker room, change the organization just a little bit. It's not going to make them championship contenders, but if they were a play-in team this year, they could get to a 7 seed or a 6 seed even by not having people quit on you halfway through the season. Everybody in that, not everybody, too many people in that building quit on that season.
Facts. Yeah.
In the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So you played another 40 games or so where there was probably a situation where there were more people that quit than stayed together. So if we'll just use Domantas Sabonis as an example. If you're Domas, like it's me and Malik alone trying to do this for the team. Coaches didn't quit. Front office people didn't quit. There's other people on the bench who have quit. Players have checked out.
Yep.
How are we supposed to bring this thing together? Unite. Zach LaVine, I'm coming here, man. Nobody even cares about what's going on right here.
Mm-hmm.
I just got here. The assistant coach then quit and left for Florida State. The general manager then left right. We got 20 games left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that can take you from a 40-win season to a 55-win season, but just having a group of people connected that care about what's going on, I do believe that can take you from 40 to 45 alone. Now, if you get the right people in here, you're playing well, you got injury luck, and things worked out. Now you're talking about another couple more games. But I don't think last year gets enough credit for how difficult that was to succeed in.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very tough situation. And I think
that they brought upon themselves.
They did.
Yeah.
They did, but sometimes those players didn't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant the organization.
Yeah, the organization.
Yeah, I meant the organization. Unless
I'm just saying, Zach LaVine.
No, for sure.
Know,
yeah, no,
he walked into.
I'm talking the Luke Laux and the Wes Wilcoxes and even the Monty McNairs and Mike Browns and all of them.
Yeah.
Like everyone's hands are dirty in where the Sacramento Kings are. You had it wasn't until the Zach LaVine trade. It wasn't until the trade deadline was over, and De'Aaron was gone, and all of that was behind us. Where it's like, all right, it was kind of like, all right, Doug, try to fix it. Like you're trying to stay afloat if you're Doug Christie, prior to that, because you're navigating so much nonsense. Once that's behind you, Monty can't do anything else. Vivek can't do anything else. I think Luke Laux wound up leaving after that, but like whatever, like I don't know how involved in like all honesty, how involved any of those assistant coaches were in things in that final stretch. Like James talked so regularly about how exhausted Doug looked. There's a different reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Doug felt like he was still one of your favorites, a one-man wolf pack. He was out there trying. I'm not saying he didn't rely on him. Not saying it was bad blood. I'm just saying I don't know how many of those people Doug trusted.
Right.
That was Mike Brown's staff, and two of them were told to be fired, or at least one or the other be fired. One just kind of stayed here, and again, I think we know now why. He had more time left on his contract. Don't quit. Make Vivek pay you. That's ultimately what happened.
And once again, he didn't.
And Doug's just trying to survive. He's trying to tell Zach LaVine, like DeMar, all those guys, none of this stuff matters anymore. We've got to find a way to go win games.
And to Luke Laux and Jay Triano, I'm not, when I say this, I'm not questioning their professionalism, because I think they handled themselves, at least outwardly, like professionals. They were professionals. Jay Triano was a professional. But I find out boss wanted me fired. At the very least, I'm not as invested as I was before that. At the very least, I might just show up every day and just kick my feet like I'm here. You can fire me if you want, but I'm here. I've checked in. My key card is here, but I'm not really invested. Like, you don't even want me here. But he didn't leave, so he doesn't get the moniker of quitting on the team. But emotionally, he was checked out. And I don't even say that to say they were. That's a human emotion, a human situation that you're in. Somebody tell me they don't want me no more, but still want me to come to work and perform at a high rate. I might do that. I might not. I'm not blaming them for that, but those are real situations that team had to deal with for pretty much the entire season. And I wonder, I'm not telling you it's going to happen. I wonder if getting guys in here that are all on the same page and working together with a certain level of talent that I think they still do have on that roster. I wonder if that equates to some wins. I wonder.
I'm with you in that regard. And that's, it goes back to the question I always ask. Did we, overestimate or did they underachieve? And I do think did we overestimate or did they underachieve? And I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. And there's a lot of that stuff that you just laid out being like, it's you got to play through it. You got to be a professional. Imagine like just going to work and it being as messy as the Sacramento Kings were. Hell, we don't have to. we don't really have to imagine.
You want to talk about 2023 again?
Oh man. You want to relive those Monday meetings with our guy over here?